I've been collecting comics for a very long time, but fairly recently I sold off pretty much all my comics. However, I did keep all my trade paperbacks, graphic novels, whatever you want to call them. This is just a very, very small sample. Mainly I was into SpiderMan, XMen, and Batman, so that's pretty much what I collected, as well as some video game comics. But today, we're not here to necessarily talk about comic books directly, but we are here to talk about comic book video games. Yeah, crazy, huh? So, MichaelBTheGameGenie, my good buddy, made a video for his top 3. And Top 3 Tuesday, it's a series that he does where he picks a topic and picks 3 games and talks about them. So, I am issuing another top 3, this time for video games. And I swear this one is not part of it, it's just a game I grabbed. But it is a great game, Batman, for the Game Boy. Definitely recommended. So, how to pick 3 of your top favorite or top 3 comic book video games of all time. Pretty tough. So what I've done is I've narrowed down 3 really good games. Are these my absolute favorite and top? Not necessarily, but they are up there, definitely. And so we're going to talk about them. So let's start off with number 1.
Number 1.
X-Men Mutant Apocalypse for the Super NES.
What better time to talk about the X-Men franchise than the month that Wolverine's latest and final adventure with Hugh Jackman, Logan, hitting theaters. X-Men Mutant Apocalypse is a 1994 Capcom action game that I just can't believe I didn't play when it came out. I'm glad I eventually did play it though, because it is now one of my favorite Super Nintendo comic book games. Choosing from one of 5 X-Men, Wolverine, Cyclops, Beast, Psylocke, and Gambit, you're individually taking on the island of Genosha, yet working as a team. Your mission is to free your fellow mutants who are enslaved there. There's some other stuff that goes on later on, but it's been too long, I can't remember. Something involving Magneto, whatever. Each of the X-Men feel and play differently, but all have Street Fighter style attacks. By pressing different combinations of buttons and directions such as forward Y or down to forward Y, you can attack with blistering combos that really tear through your enemies. If you collect enough X symbols, you can get a 1-up. And the soundtrack is full of a ton of variety, with blistering Mega Man X style heavy metal, as well as kind of slinking, sneaky jazz and big band efforts. This is not an easy game, with practice definitely making perfect, but it's all worth your money. And the best part is that this one is still relatively cheap. Grab it before it spirals out of control like the rest of the retro scene prices. Estimated current price range between $10 and $15 loose. Number 2.
Batman Return of the Joker for the NES.
Batman Return... No, not the beat-em-up modeled after the movie. You didn't let me finish. Although, that game is fantastic as well. Batman Return of the Joker for the NES was released by Sunsoft in 1991, and it is unmistakably the hardest Batman game I've ever played. Despite a lack of plot showcased in-game, this action platform game offers a ton of variety, with most stages being borderline run and gun. Batman is given a blaster this time around that can be upgraded depending on which power-up you grab from the boxes. These item drops can all be powered up by holding down the B button, creating a super powerful shot. Grabbing these empty item icons builds up a bar that, when full, unleashes a super powerful blast cannon that also makes Batman invincible for a short time. The graphics are gorgeous, with nice big detailed sprites filling the screen. There's also shooting levels where Batman is flying with some kind of jetpack, taking down foes shoot 'em up style. At the end of certain levels, you'll face off against a boss where your health changes to numbers, and it's a battle of wills to see who can drain whose life faster. This game is tough as nails, with a real dedication to fast hand-eye coordination and quick reflexes to dodge certain attacks and pitfalls. Batman can also slide, which can damage opponents, but also himself if he gets hit. This cart unfortunately is used to make reproductions of Mr. Gimmick due to the chips being compatible, which has caused this one to rise in price, but the money laid out is definitely worth it. Estimated current price range between $35 and $45 loose. Number 3.
SpiderMan Mysterio's Menace for the Game Boy Advance.
Spider-Man's always had trouble with his handheld adventures. That's not supposed to sound as dirty as it did, I promise. Mysterio's menace for the Game Boy Advance is the golden savior for Peter Parker's portable woes. Released in 2001 by Activision and developed by Vicarious Visions, this game starts off with a simple tale of Mary Jane asking Peter Parker to grab a fishbowl for her recently acquired goldfish. Though why Mary Jane would forget to grab one makes me question Mary Jane's intelligence. I mean, was she planning on just letting the fish sit in the bag forever? Anyways, Peter learns of some trouble in the city, so he runs off to change and begins his spectacular journey. You have your choice between 3 levels initially, and as you beat each one, more appear for a total of 7. You'll check out a wide variety of locations, all plagued with various baddies like ninjas, thugs, and guys that look like Colossus from the X-Men? You can swing by double tapping the A button, tie up bad guys with the R button, and fire a web attack with the L button. Combo attacks can be engaged effortlessly with the B button, which allows for a surprising amount of attack patterns depending on which combinations you try out. You have a surprising amount of movement, which is only slightly plagued with some slight hit detection issues, and a slightly jumpy camera. There's health and web pickups galore, but my favorite pickup is the freaking spider armor. I mean, man, I love that suit so much. Way cooler than the iron armor that Iron Man gave him, well, if you ask me. Estimated current price range between $3 and $6 loose.
So that's going to do it for me. Leave a comment down below. I want to know what your top 3 comic book video games are. Did I miss something? Was there a game that you felt should have been included? Was there a game that is on yours that's also on mine? Leave me a comment below so that way we can discuss. And also, if you look around here, you may notice that there's other top 3 video responses for MichaelBTheGameGenie, so check out those too. As always, thanks so much for watching, thanks for subscribing, liking, and commenting on this video, and you guys have yourself a great day. Or night. Unless you're in space, in which case, hello from space.